Hey everyone, so this is the final week of our tapping and aroma point therapy. Now I know we started in July and this is August, but this is the final one in the series. And today's one is going to be on tapping for shock or trauma. So it's not going to be a very long one because it's just purely going to be to try and calm down the nervous system or bring you back into your body after a shock. So with a shock in Chinese medicine, the idea behind the energetics of it is that with the shock, your life force kind of leaves your body. It moves out because of the shock. And you'd often see people who've had a shock and their brain, you know, they're not in their body. They're somewhere else. And it might be the case that you're helping somebody else to kind of come back to themselves afterwards, just to settle back in. Or it might be for yourself that you find that you're scattered and you need to kind of bring yourself back into it. So it's just a little short tapping session just to tell you it's safe to come back into your body. Okay, so you won't be tuning in or rating it because it's something that kind of happens in and of the moment itself. Like first aid tapping, as opposed to tapping to deal with the root issue or grief. It's a sudden shock. You're already kind of clued in, so it can be something really simple. So you're not necessarily, especially if you're not used to using tapping a lot, you're not necessarily going to tap through all of the sequences. So maybe when you've done tapping with me before, you found that this collarbone point here you find really soothing or calming, or maybe it's the one on your wrist, or maybe just doing it along your fingers you find calming. So you might necessarily be there in shock going, okay, I'm going to go through all these points. Find the point that you find. This one here, the collarbone one, is often very kind of soothing and calming, and you can just tap along on it and just repeat yourself, right here, right now, I'm safe, or I am safe, it's okay, it's going to be okay, right here, right now, I'm safe. So something just to repeat to yourself and bring yourself back into your body. My necklace is very jangly, I might take that off. And you can, if you want, kind of go from your collarbone to your wrist to your fingers and do any of the points that you find that you want to, or you can literally just stick with this point here and just repeat, you know, affirmations that you're okay, it's going to be okay, you're safe in this moment. You can ask for help, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel safe again. Okay. If you're in a space where you do want to follow through with the sequence, and if you're going to tap on somebody else, always ask their permission. So don't just go up to somebody in shock and start tapping on their head. It's not necessarily what somebody wants to happen. If somebody is very anxious or very worked up, or having, you know, starting to come into some form of a panic attack or something with what's going on, you can say to them, I use this technique called tapping. It's very soothing to the system. Is it okay if I tap on you? And, you know, stick with, you know, you're not going to be going under their armpit, or stick with the points maybe on the chest or on the top of the head, or with children along the spine. So if my kids are very upset, you know, if they get a shock or if they're very upset and they're up on you, you can tap down with your fingers down up either side of their spine, just up and down, just to help calm them down. My kids love that. They'll ask me for that. So if you do want to run around the tapping points, you can literally tap on the points and say, follow along, go, I've had such a shock to my system. An eyebrow. This feels so unreal. Side of the eye. I can't believe it's happening. Under the eye. My mind can't process this right now. Under the nose. This is a natural response. The chin. It's a protective mechanism. Collarbone. I'm releasing this numbing sensation. Under the arm. Maybe I can ask a loved one or a friend for help. Wrist. I can take the time I need to process what's happened. Side of the finger. It's safe to ask for help. It's safe to come back into my body now. I can look for support from my community or health services. Next one. I have the strength to get through this. It's okay to ask for help. Top of the head again. I can't change what's happened, and it's going to take time to heal. an eyebrow. It's safe to ask for help. Side of the eye. I don't have to do this all on my own. Under the eye. It's just on the kind of orbit socket under the eye there. I did the best I could with the knowledge I had at the time. Under the nose. I am safe. The chin. It's safe to come back into my body. Collarbone. I can ask for support. The arm. I am safe. Wrist. Right here, right now, I'm safe. Thumb. I'm worthy of a safe space. I am safe. It's safe to be in my body now. It's safe to ask for help. I am safe. Okay, and just repeat around as much as you need, just to kind of bring yourself in calm and center yourself to see what you need to do or who you need to go to for help or what's needed. Another lovely practice that you can do is havening. So literally put your arms up on your shoulders like this, like you're giving yourself a big hug, and close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And as you run your fingers down your hands, down your arms, along across your hands, and just repeat, I am safe. Okay, up again for a big hug. I am safe. Okay. And it's really comforting. And you know the way kids like their faces being stroked like that? That's havening as well, just where you're stroking, going, you're okay, everything's okay. It's somatic, kind of, you know, into your body, telling your body that it's safe, your nervous system that it's safe. With the Aroma point therapy, Helichrysum or rose oil. Rose is quite expensive. Helichrysum is as well, but not as expensive as rose. Or if you don't have either of them, geranium rose, which is more affordable. The point we're going to use is just down here in the center of the chest, called CV17. So it's kind of on the sternum, just the hard bone that's there that your ribs join up to, in the center of your chest, or kind of across where the nipple line is. You just want to take a drop of oil on one finger and just hold in place on that point for 1 to 3 minutes. You can run your finger up and down the sternum and just feel where it naturally feels drawn to, and just gently hold it in that place there. So Helichrysum is an amazing oil, especially for old trauma, old kind of sick trauma that's sitting there that hasn't quite sticky scar, emotional scar tissue that's there for dissolving that. It's also, in an actual physical realm, is amazing for bruising. So if you have, say my daughter years ago when she was only about 2, got her hand was in the door. My son didn't realise, and he was closing the door, so right along her hand got caught in the door, and was all swollen up, and I used some Helichrysum on it. And you know, sometimes when they're little, they won't let you put ice on it, it's too cold, they don't like it. You don't want to put it on broken skin, but on bruising it's amazing. And she had a little nap on me, and when she woke up, she literally just had a red line across there. There was no bruising, there was no swelling, it was all gone down. Helichrysum is amazing for that kind of little bruising, or what would come up. It's a lot more strong than arnica. So if you think of what arnica does, Helichrysum is way more powerful. But on an energetic level, for scarring, old scar tissue, for healing, it's fantastic for just helping you release what needs to be released. Rose is beautiful on that point, and rose, if it's a case of end of life where you're with somebody who's close to passing, it's really supportive on that point for the person if they'd like it, and also for the family, you know, for people who are grieving, for helping with that transition through to the other side and acceptance of what's happening. Obviously not in a sudden scenario, but if it's something that you know is coming and you're with somebody, it's really supportive. And geranium is beautiful. It's really nourishing for the heart, and it has a lot of those beautiful qualities that the other oils do. It's very supportive. All right, so that's the end of this series. I hope you've enjoyed it, and do let me know how you've got on, and I will see you all soon.